We're actually live, guys.
Okay, I know some of this stuff.
Hey, are we live
Shit,
yet?
Thanks for the heads up.
I did an article for that, so yeah, I'm all, okay, I'm good. Let's do this.
Oh, yo, how you guys doing today?
Happy to be back online.
We got Kuma back. What's up, man?
We do got Kuma back.
What's up? How y'all doing?
The Kuma 2 Electric Boogaloo, or should it be Kuma 2 The Return of Kuma?
The Return of Kuma.
Kuma the Revenge. Let me stop.
Like Karnoff's Revenge.
Karnoff's Revenge.
That's
yeah, man.
What is Terminator 2 called? I should know this, but I'm blanking.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day, yeah. Kuma 2 Judgment Day. That's a better title.
I like that better.
I like it. Just resubbed for 18
That's fair.
Yo, Quintessence, thank you for go ahead and resubbing.
I was gonna
for 18 months. Thank you. Wait, August.
Is he still the number one mod? I remember he was the number one mod. World's best mod.
It was like since it's Halloween.
He's so good.
I didn't see a sub from August.
I
must have missed it.
Oh my god. Who wants to do the
give other people money? Wow. That's the simp behavior right there.
Damn, we ain't supposed to say that on Twitch either.
No, that's actually a bad word, in fact.
That's a bad word.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to say while I'm sipping?
I mean,
hey!
Once again.
Oh, man.
Guys,
this episode's getting banned right before we get started.
But legit, though. Stop.
Bleep out please. Bleep it out
it's banned in a derogatory term.
Like, as we're live, please do not say that.
Am I allowed to eat Ritz?
I'm allowed to kick your ass off this podcast if you keep talking.
All right. On to the topics.
Spicy for a Sunday.
Yo, ADHD streams. What's up, man? Good to see you. Yo, does anybody want to really quick? Does everybody want to do the whole streamer like, yo, Quintessence, thank you for the big 18 months. How about that? We'll just,
comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, smash. Slap that Kuma button.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
I don't know, man. I don't know y'all too ought to be smashing any buttons on mine.
Kuma, I love how your arms are just pure red.
Yeah,
in the VOD.
That's fire.
That's his install. That's his dragon install.
Yeah,
straight flame of Rekka over here.
Literally just started becoming soul bad guy over there.
Yeah, he lost the fangs to match. So.
Yeah, for real.
Spoilers.
Got the sharp teeth installed.
Spoilers. He lost his dragon install. Get over it.
Spoilers.
Honestly,
speaking of something real quick though,
did
y'all hear what was going on with Legacy of Kain? I was hoping y'all was gonna put that into the podcast.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, what is going on with Legacy of Kain?
I want a surprise topic. This is.
I guess I'll just write that into the opening here.
I just leave that.
So right now, Crystal Dynamics is doing a survey for people that have played or want a Legacy of Kain to resurface. So they've been asking gamers, and I just took the survey earlier today as well. They go in depth, like, have you played? What do you play? What's your favorite character? Blah, blah. And, so I'm like, Legacy of Kain might be coming back.
After the last one we got, I don't know if I want this.
So,
Defiance? You like Defiance?
No.
Yeah. So, I don't mind reboots of any of those old, character action games, I guess. But, the standard is now Devil May Cry 5. If the depth of your mechanics isn't Devil May Cry 5 deep, I don't want it.
Well, that's what they also asked. What kind of game genre would you like the game to be in? They had some weird topics, and they also said, would you want a remaster or would you want a continuation of the sequel? I was like, It depends. It really depends. You could continue the story, or for those that haven't played, just remaster it, rebuild it all up together, and give us.
Yeah, you got to rebuild it all.
Instead of a remaster, I'd want a remake.
Yeah, remake. Yeah, that's
remake.
The
exactly.
You could take the base game and then just make it better.
But I did mention 2 games that it should copy: either the Castlevania, like the newer ones that came out for the 360 and PS3, or Devil May Cry 5.
Wait! You're talking about the ones that everybody hates?
Lord of Shadows. Well, I mean,
people Shadows hate it. People hate Lord of Shadows.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Lord of Shadow.
I think a lot of people like to complain, though. Yeah, those actually, if you actually watch those games, they don't seem terrible. They're not as good as the goodies, but.
I started playing through Lord of Shadow maybe a couple years ago, and the first one was booty. So I didn't like it, dude. Man, once you get to a swamp, you know, like you start falling in that stupid swamp water, and then you like start drowning for a long, you know, and then you get to pop back out. I don't know. Maybe I think
it's a Miyazaki game.
Maybe it's just
this game is cheeks.
These swamps, bro.
I also added that they should do a co-op feature as well, so people can just like play as either both Raziel or Kane.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. But anyway, that was just a quick thing I wanted to bring up. Well, back to y'all.
Nice.
What if they had What if they had like a what's that game? The Star Wars game, the Fallen Order.
Oh,
like just something like that,
like a Souls like almost. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know if I want another Souls like. I think that's getting to me.
But like good Souls likes, you know what I mean? Like Fallen Order, I would say like counts as like a good Souls like.
Well, the only Souls like that I'm enjoying right now when I played the demo was Wulong Fallen Dynasty. That was a good Souls like. That demo was really good.
Yeah. Which is technically like I think it's that gray area between a Souls like and a Ninja Gaiden like, to be honest. But it's like right in that. Right on that.
I wouldn't mind a hack and slash for Soul Legacy of Kain. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
like a good one.
It's gonna need something for sure. And I mean, I don't know if it because I love Legacy of Kain. I think it's really cool, and
great.
I just think I'd love to see what they do next. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind a remake or a reboot, but it would.
You gotta take away the jankness of the PS2.
The series has to evolve.
Yeah,
it's too jank to just simply remaster. It's a rough game.
I mean, the story is excellent.
Soul Reaver was the evolution of the series, so they got to do another evolution to match the audience nowadays.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably delve into it. We had watched Hocus Pocus 2 this week for the review. It's okay, Kuma. Have you seen the first movie?
Of course. I don't mind about spoilers. Spoilers don't bother me.
Okay. All right. Cool. So
we only do spoilers.
Anderson's sisters and me are cool like that.
That's all right. Well, so I want to ask you guys. Start off by saying, what did you think of Hocus Pocus? August, you want to go first?
Sure. Why not? Yeah, I mean, I watched it literally I finished it like 30 minutes before the podcast started, so it's probably freshest in my memory. It was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's one of those, how do I describe it? It's like when you go out to get pizza and you eat it and you enjoy it, but at the end of the day, it's just another pizza you've eaten. There was nothing that's this isn't. I'm not going to care about this movie in 5 years or 10 years. There was nothing iconic about this movie. It was just enjoyable. It definitely had that kind of made for. I'm not gonna say made for TV or made for streaming feel, but if this had been the first movie, I don't know if anyone would care. You know what I mean? It didn't have any of the things that I think made the first movie so iconic. If I were to put a scale of the first movie, I would give the first movie an 8 or a 9. I would give this a 6 or a 7, maybe a 7. I enjoyed it. I solidly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it was just palatable. It wasn't oh yeah, this is great. I'm gonna remember this and tell my kids about this and want people to do more of them. It's not. It wasn't that. It was just oh yeah, this was an enjoyable experience. That's about it. And it even felt kind of watered down in terms of the danger wasn't really there. No one really died. It wasn't as sinister. It wasn't as dark. It was just a little bit more wholesome and I'm not gonna call it Disney-fied, but everything felt, the stakes felt lesser on everything.
Have you seen the first movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm wondering because I watched the first movie today also. I watched both of them back to back.
Yeah.
I watched the second one and I watched the first one. I just want to. Go on.
So, but that's what I'm saying. In the first one, they commit to killing the girl. The girl never comes back. Zachary dies at the end. There are some characters that, not. I guess now we're getting to spoil territory, but whatever. They commit to at least killing off some characters that you like or would feel bad about. In this one, they do none of that. They're just like, you know, whatever. Stuff happens. It all wraps up at the end. Don't worry about it. Like, it definitely felt very kind of like more. I'm not gonna say more wholesome, but like essentially that. It wasn't like it didn't really feel as intense, or as life threatening. And it definitely felt way more memey. Like I felt like they leaned so much into the memes of the first one that I'm like, I don't need this again. Like the whole like amok thing. I'm like, ugh. I don't even know if I liked that joke that much in the first one, but it's like doing it again. I'm like, okay, we get it. The referencing jokes from the first one, cool.
Sounds like it's fell into the territory of falling to the nostalgia audience.
Yeah, it definitely did. And like as I said, there were fun things about it. Like I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the wrap up, I guess. But like I don't know, man. I would have tried to if I were writing it, I would have tried to give the script another pass to make it deeper, to make like more connections between the past and the future, to do a couple other things, to make me just more invested in the story, because I just really wasn't. And yeah, that was what it was. I don't really know. Like it definitely feels like a made for streaming movie, like a kind of a throwaway. Like I think one of the most annoying things about the streaming movie era is so much stuff seems just to be made for consumption, like disposable consumption. Like it's made to be enjoyed once, then never really enjoyed again. And this kind of feels like that. Like I'm not gonna go back and rewatch this every year. I might rewatch the first one every year. The first one's iconic. This one, maybe I'll be like, people are like, if everyone was like, yeah, you want to do a Hocus Pocus marathon? I'll be like, let's watch the first one. And if it's like midnight and y'all want to watch the second one, that's the time I'm dipping. Because it's like, I'm all set.
Right.
That's the movie I pull out my phone on. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I just feel like whatever about it. Like I enjoyed it, but it's such a whatever to me. It's very, very, very forgettable. I don't know. I'll let you guys go.
What did you think of the movie?
Okay. Well, I'll start with the good.
Mhm.
So, as with the first one, it seemed like freaking Sarah and Kathy were just having a freaking blast the whole movie. They were just having fun. They were just loving it. They're like, oh, we just love playing these freaking roles. This is fantastic. You can really just see it. But that's pretty much it for my praise for this movie. I felt like it was disjointed. After the first like 10 minutes, I knew exactly where they were going with the whole movie, basically. Like, oh, I mean, obviously they're just gonna be like, oh no, like they're villains, but you know, they're not actually that evil. It's because of like the things surrounding them that turn them evil, you know? And so really they're a tragic villain.
Yeah. And so like I disagree with that, because I'm pretty sure like someone tries to say that and then he gets proven wrong the entire movie that, okay, no, they are actually just shit. Which was pretty funny. And actually, he got the light end of the stick on that, because like in any other movie,
he would have got... Of the movie...
Yeah.
But like, the end of the movie happens.
Well, no, but like, that's the thing. Like, but that makes sense. I mean, like, no character is one-dimensional. No true, well-written character is one-dimensional. And like at the end of the movie, there was like, I cared more about my sisters than having power, which made sense. I mean, she was all about her sisters from the beginning. That made sense.
Yeah.
That was like.
So I'll continue my part of the review.
Direct.
It's his show.
All right, go on.
It's his show. I'm just living in it.
Well, okay. So I felt like the acting wasn't very good outside of the Sandersons. The writing was... It didn't quite reach, like, the fun camp level of the first movie. Instead, it just kind of, like, meandered in this middle zone between, like, camp and trying to have, like, an actual, like, super solid narrative, like, with deep backstory and character developments. The effects were like a fucking intern did them in After Effects or something. It was rough. It looked like a Disney Channel original budget.
Ugh.
Yeah. Let's see. Walgreens put a lot of money into this movie. Like a lot of money from Walgreens went into Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus 2 sponsored by Walgreens.
Yeah.
Right?
The money was there, yeah.
Should have got some coupons from watching.
By the way, guys, I'm also sponsored by air conditioners, so hey, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Go on.
There you go.
Yeah. It wasn't as egregious probably as like the Power Rangers Krispy Kreme, but it was like out in that line. It was like kind of riding it, you know. They did my least favorite stereotype basically ever, which is the dumb jock. Like they just made this guy the dumbest character on the face of the earth. Not understanding like
That's
basic
your least favorite
human interaction.
ever?
I hate the dumb jock stereotype. I also hate like the dumb cheerleader stereotype. I don't like those like, oh, just because they do this, they're stupid stereotype.
I have to agree with you on that because that's so 80s. That's like what the 80s genre.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like it was in the spirit of like a early 90s movie, so I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe give it a break on that. But still, I feel you.
Like I see what you're saying, but I felt like that was the modernist version of that stereotype you got, in that like he was just kind of like socially unaware. Like
yes,
dumb is a broad term. It was more that like he's just so unaware of other people's feelings, he doesn't even consider them when he makes jokes. Which I thought was actually kind of entertaining, because like he realized he was being a dick, and he actually kind of felt bad about it. Like, it was
we also got examples of him just being kind of a doofus. Like, in the classroom where Becca was like taking out her crystal, and she's like, "Oh, this is like a good luck charm in case we have a pop quiz." And he's like, "Oh, I hope we don't have one because I didn't read the stuff."
Oh boy,
there's a lot of people that don't read the stuff in high school. I don't know, man. Like, I see what you're saying, but like, I don't feel like he was. I feel like he wasn't a doofus because he was like a jock. I feel like that was just his character. Like, that was his personality. Like, he could have been a nerd, but just have been a doofy nerd. Like, it just wasn't. It just like other people's like feelings didn't click with him.
But like his jockism was like front and center. Like, he was always wearing his jacket. He was the jock, right? In fact, I think he was the only jock in the movie.
There's the other football player that talked to him like 2 seconds.
Yeah, there you go.
There wasn't much time to actually have characterization.
We established no other character. We barely established the characters we had. That was honestly my other frustration in the movie.
Before this review, I had to look up what Becca's friend's name was.
Yeah.
And it's Izzy, by the way.
Yeah. Dude, even the supporting characters felt like bottom tier characters. That was honestly my biggest annoying point in the movie. Is I'm like, how are you not gonna establish her friends' relationships?
Yeah.
Like,
the
everything
characters are just kind of nothing outside of the Sandersons
so stupid.
and Becca.
Yeah.
And then we like shoehorned like Gilbert in there as like practically a surprise villain. Like they did that kind of thing. I was like, I mean, wait, Disney.
He's kind of like a pseudo villain.
Yeah, he's
not really
an inadvertent villain.
He doesn't really want to be. He doesn't really have a choice to not be a villain. But
well, he did because he was the one that literally gave them the candle.
He's like the stupid cultist that like thinks that the bad guys are cool, and then finds out no, there's a reason someone sealed them away because they're assholes.
Right.
I felt like there was a lot of stereotypes in this movie.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of character archetypes. I wouldn't say that the movie 100% followed them, but it was like, a lot of this movie was paint by numbers. And that's honestly my biggest complaint about the movie is it was so paint by numbers.
It's just super basic. It's just kind of a nothing. It's a drop in the bucket, like a drop in the ocean, even of like these kind of like fan service. Hey, remember this from the first movie? Wasn't that hilarious?
Pretty much what you're saying is that this did not need a sequel.
It didn't.
Not the way this was written.
It
Not the way this was
doesn't.
written.
Okay. So yeah, it definitely did not need a sequel. I will say
It
that.
didn't need to exist.
It didn't need to
This
exist.
movie
I'm not
didn't need
saying,
to
like,
exist.
This like a good sequel could have been written.
Mhm.
This movie was not it. This movie was like, dude, again, maybe I'm just bitching about the streaming era in general, but this feels like a fucking designed by like data/committee, like paint by numbers movie. It's basically like, yes, you'll enjoy it, but will you care about it? Absolutely not. Absolutely, it feels like a calculus crafted like enjoyable experience with no redeeming value. Like the perfect.
Somebody really, really liked that candy apple joke, considering it just
Well, I
kept
mean,
going. They were a huge fan. They thought this is a fucking banger, and we can just keep like referencing this shit.
Was there even one really funny joke in the movie? I don't even remember. I can't. I just watched it. I'm trying to remember a really funny joke.
No,
I thought it was funny when the kid asked what's a virgin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
But then I started thinking, I'm like, well, surely other children have asked this to this place where Gilbert literally runs this whole like magic store.
Tells the
and
story
he does
every year.
this every year. A child's never asked this before, and he had to make something up on the spot and look really confused.
To be fair,
ask your mom.
Man, come on.
Like the in the first movie, they basically make jokes around the fact that the brother Max is a virgin.
Yeah, they shit on the whole movie for being a virgin.
By the 8-year-old sister.
Yeah,
but
like
the whole movie shits on him for being a virgin.
It fits that movie.
That trope is kind of old.
I wasn't a huge fan of this movie, as a shock to no one. And I'll give an actual number review at the end, but that's basically the end of my review. I felt like it was a mess. I felt like it doesn't need to exist. I'm glad that Bet, Sarah, and Kathy had a fucking ball doing the movie again.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good.
Yeah.
I mean, like so I did sit down, I watched both movies, and here's my 2 cents about it, okay? I think if anybody says that the first movie is better by a wide margin, I don't completely agree with that. I would say, what's that?
I want to meet these people that say that. Like,
there's gonna be okay, so just let me talk.
I'll let you go. Keep going.
Okay, so there's gonna be a YouTuber. You know it's gonna happen. There's gonna be somebody that's gonna try. You know, it's gonna be all the classics like this movie's woke garbage, and then it's also gonna get the they ruined everything that's great about the first movie, which really none of that is true. I mean, there's little bits and pieces of that maybe in there somewhere, but it's not like it doesn't shove it down your throat. So, like, you know, every movie that people complain about that stuff with, it's not true. They're just trying to get attention. But I'm just preparing you for that to happen.
Yes, of course. But the main character was a black girl. I mean, that's easy money for them.
Yeah, it's literally just it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna happen. It's only a matter of time before somebody makes that. And then so I would say
did they go woke or did they go brown?
Yeah, right. Well,
that's so stupid. Fuck it, yeah.
So between the two movies, I would say that the kid actors in this movie are actually better than the first movie, believe it or not. If you go back and you watch the first one, because I watched them back to back. First one, the acting is so bad by the kids. It is terrible. The acting's super robotic. But basically, I think this second movie's great and all. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Of course, you know, I don't think it would be the same if they didn't have, you know, Bet and everybody come back as the witches, because their chemistry is so amazing. But I would say that the movie had good potential to be as good as the first one until it hit the ending. And then it feels like it basically pooped the bed. Okay? it feels like it pooped the bed really, really hard during that ending. Say, like, am I crazy to say that? Like, did anybody feel?
That's not my opinion. I have the problem with the whole plot, like the middle, the everything. The ending was like whatever, man. It just was. The ending made sense to me in a stupid way. I don't know.
No, I mean, the ending was basically like. I felt like the ending was pretty obvious as we were like getting towards like that climax. I was just like remembering the beginning of the movie. I'm like, well, fucking obviously, because like, oh, you know, you're gonna lose what's most precious to you. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, she's gonna feel really bad that she lost her sisters. Blah 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 blah.
It's pretty fucking obvious.
Just a fart of nothing.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know, I felt like for me, like I was like, all right, fine. You know, this is all kind of silly, you know, especially with the Walgreens that they had there, and then, you know, the candy apple part, and then they shoved in like they brought back Billy. Is it Billy Butcher? Is his name? Is it Billy Butcher? Is that his name? Or
Billy Thatcher?
Billy Butcherson. No, it's Billy Butcherson. It's Billy Butcherson.
Billy the Butcher.
Billy Butcherson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Billy Butcherson.
So, you know, they had.
Oh yeah, Billy Butcherson.
Yeah, they had him come back, and he's like in there for literally no reason.
Yes. Again, one of the best parts of the movie, though. He's in there for, like, the smallest bit, and I'm like, oh, yeah, all of the comedy with this zombie dude works. Like, I forgot how funny it was in the first fucking movie.
He's also in there to be upset at Gilbert.
So, you know, I found out that guy is actually, he is in, oh my god, what is he in? He actually plays Abe in Hellboy.
He's a great.
He plays Abe. He plays Abe in Hellboy, and then he's also, you know, in The Shape of Water. He is the Aqua dude. So the guy
is it
from
Doug
Hellboy,
Doug Jones, right?
The guy from Hellboy is also the same guy from Shape of Water, which everybody was making the joke that it was the same creature, since they're both like Aquaman, and I didn't even know, but it's the same actor.
It's Doug Jones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, he does a bunch of like monster stuff. Like that's the thing he's known for.
He has a long filmography.
He was even in Star Trek Discovery. He was one of the better parts of that show.
Yeah, and so I thought that was kind of wild, but I didn't know that was him. But I guess that was like his big breaking role and stuff. But yeah, man, it really felt like this movie didn't need to exist, and like I think the thing that kind of upset me a little bit was the fact that they gave them powers when they really didn't need to. They really didn't add anything.
Are we talking about the main characters?
Yes, the main characters. They gave them Covenant witch powers when that really didn't add anything to the story whatsoever.
So,
you know what I mean?
I was okay with that change if they had explained it. If they had explained it,
they didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they haven't explained it, I was a little like, as it was, I'm like, fine. She's a witch somehow. Whatever. Which bloodlines are out there, I guess. But like, give me some backstory into her family. Like, this should have all been set up. This should have been foreshadowed. Where like she came to Salem looking for her history. Like, there should have been shit there to be like, oh, there's a reason she suddenly has powers. Yeah. But the fact that they like just suddenly give her powers, I'm like, man, this is just kind of boring. Like I don't know, you're gonna go wish fulfillment because that's obviously what it is, and that's reductive. It doesn't even add anything to it. It just like they didn't set up the change at all.
There was a throwaway line, like Beckham, like, oh, my mother said that like the Sandersons will come back and like get their revenge.
Well, I mean, like if you have a problem with this, you know, then you'll probably, you know. You might.
Well, you never even meet her family, right? You never meet her family. Yeah, so it's like
you don't meet anybody's family.
Yeah,
no. Besides
besides Cassie and her dad. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They do no character building on any of the main characters. That's like why.
That's because again they have like an hour and a half to kind of tell you a story where they have a lot of information to cover, and
they wasted a lot of time.
It has a similar pace to the first movie. I mean, in some ways, I guess. At least it felt like that way to me when I watched the first one. The first one is very breakneck, and it's sort of the same thing. Yeah. It's like, oh, we don't have time to tell you the backstories of all these characters.
It's tightly plotted. It's tight, like it like gives you everything you need, whereas this one really feels like it doesn't.
Sorry. No, it's okay. It really felt like between the two movies, they both have their own bigger problems. But I mean, I feel like for me, the reason why the first movie is the better movie is like it really just sticks the landing, for the ending. Though the beginning is super corny and like stereotypical your Disney movie. I'm a kid from another state, and I'm from the West Coast going to the East Coast, and I don't like it here. And you know what I'm saying? And then like he finds a ragtag team of people, and of course the girl he likes within the first 5 minutes of the story, and.
But it works though. It works.
It does work.
The thing about the first movie is I feel like Binks is like the binding glue for that movie. Binks holds
my favorite
everything together for the first movie, and we don't have a Binks for the second movie to like hold things together.
What's up, Billy? How you doing, man?
Like we end up with just like a disjointed mess. We don't have that like real like exposition character / like
and the mission
character with actual stakes. We don't have a mission. We don't have anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I almost feel like we needed a narrator character here because this story was so short, so brief, and had so little to it. Like it would almost feel better if it were like a narrator narrating from like the past, explaining how this happened. And it would have been even funnier if, like, they had, like, what if they had given a voice to the book? Like, the book didn't have a voice in the first movie.
Right.
What if it had a voice in this movie? And that was the narrator explaining how shit got so crazy. And then I'd be like, that might have made everything work. And that might have everything tied together. But, like, as it was, this movie felt like it didn't have a glue that tied it all together.
Yo, thank you for the follow, Billy. Okay, so, kind of closing this out because we got to keep moving. So with obviously I do agree, they didn't have like a character who was on point, like that had stakes in it, that brought everybody together. Like Binks is my favorite character. He's a cat, really sweet
he's
cat.
Connected to both, and he's connected to both stories too.
I also found out he's the same voice actor for Max in the Goofy movie. Same voice actor. Yeah. He's who voices a million other people in like animated cartoons and stuff. But and I guess the guy who was actually like his physical role is the dude from NCIS, which is McGee. As like a kid.
Know that.
As a kid,
wow.
yeah. I looked at him, I was like, he looks familiar, and I was like, oh yeah, he's McGee in NCIS. So there's like a lot of people in here, great. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. And also, by the way, I don't know if anybody saw the ending credits, the ending scene, but they implied that there's going to be a third one.
They did heavily, and I hated it.
Of course, Disney got to keep cashing
I saw that damn scene.
I'm gonna download the movie
guys
right now so I can watch it while I'm at work tomorrow.
So they implied that there's another Black Candle, and the one that they haven't used yet or something like that. And so they kind of implied that they're gonna make a third movie, and so this is where I think what they think they're gonna do. I think that they use this as a testing, and then in the third one they're gonna explain her backstory. And here's my theory: I think they're gonna bring back characters from the first movie to come back, which I'm surprised we didn't see anybody besides Billy.
I mean, like that's the thing.
We were actually supposed to get the girl who played Danny back.
Right,
the little girl.
Yep.
But they had like a scheduling conflict, so she couldn't do the part. Like they really wanted her back. So if we do get a third one, she'll probably be in it.
Right. So I guess with that, do you guys want to see a third movie? It sounds like you don't. I don't think there needs to be a third one, but would you still watch it? I'd still watch it, but I mean, I don't think there needs to be
I'd watch it, but again, it's like you have to please fix the problems from this movie. Like, give me substance over style. Give me a movie. Give me a story.
But I think
this was just like this was popcorn. This was just popcorn.
They could use that her backstory of being a witch, why she's a witch, as that sort of filter into that. But
that was the coolest thing about this movie is that they gave a clip into the past and they showed how the Sandersons got the book. They got the book from another witch. There are more witches out there. I want to know more about this like culture of witches in like where the hell they are or like what
that
the
might
hell
be
they're
the
doing.
basis for the third movie. If people had this much problem with the second one, it might beef it up for the third one to have that where you have the whole coven come out.
I can only hope because this movie was just so disposable. Like there was so little for me to care about here.
It just felt lazy.
Like I barely cared about our friends because I don't know anything about them. Like we didn't meet their parents, we didn't keep their backstories. We're just like, oh yeah, we're fighting because someone's got a boyfriend and hanging out with them more than they're hanging out with me, and they're supposed to understand that I'm mad
For the
about
last 4 months.
That whole argument was so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Like,
so,
wow,
it's
so
like
you guys
high
could-
school, whatever, dude. I don't know.
it hurts.
That's just how it be.
So what would
But-
you guys would you guys rate this movie?
Oh.
August?
He said, "Oh."
Yeah, I give this like a.
Sorry, man. We gotta keep it pushing.
I give this 6. I want to give it a 7, but I give it a 6.
Quinn, any closing thoughts?
Okay, so closing thoughts is I give it a 4.
Damn.
And yes, I think it's a below average movie. I don't see like a huge amount of appeal, and the fact that like they sequel bait at trequel bait, I guess, at the end with both the mention of an extra candle, plus you see the other witch in her fucking bird form fly down towards where Becca and her friends are walking. It's just, this movie didn't need to exist. It felt like a waste of time. It was actually hard for me to watch this movie. Like, I appreciate the first movie so much for like how fun it is and how just they didn't care what the hell they were doing. They just wanted to have a good time, it seemed like.
Mhm.
And for this one, it just lacked that like magic. It honestly lacked a Halloween feel to it.
Yep.
If
I
that
agree.
makes any sense. It didn't really
I don't know.
feel like a Halloween movie to me.
Well, I feel like that's what I was saying. Like the stakes really never felt that high. Like
No, there were no stakes.
Yeah, but they didn't feel that way.
Oh, and they tried to do like a show don't tell kind of thing with like the powers. Like they're basically showing like, oh, like, you know, the main sister, she's like so powerful, blah 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 blah, and she's kind of like forsaken her sisters, right? And so like their power of friendship like creates the shield, and like, oh, it's like they have a sisterly bond, and since they're still together, they're
Don't let the cat out.
stronger.
I'm still listening.
They're strong enough to know, you know, fight back against the main sister's
Hey,
power.
bro, power of friendship.
It
Conquers
was
all.
basically the power of friendship,
Power of friendship
right?
conquers
Like
all, baby.
a bond of sisters, not in blood, of course, but you know, just like in friendship, that same kind of notion.
Yeah.
And I see like where they were kind of going with it. It was just
Can we talk about? Can
pointless.
we like? I forgot to mention, but can we talk about the music in this movie real quick? Because I'm like, this song
we have a half an hour. We have
no, we're almost done.
we have 45 minutes to cover the rest of the show.
The song that they sang when they popped out, not a banger.
No,
I put a
not
spell on
banger.
you, a banger from the first movie, straight banger.
Did you know they didn't even want that in the movie?
Well,
Which one?
It almost got cut, is what I heard.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's one of the best parts
they
of the
thought it
movie.
was like dumb, and it became like one of the most iconic scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah, no, I put a spell on you is a great banger. It's one of the best like parts of that movie. But yeah, this was not
It
that.
opened with a song, and then there was a song in the middle for some reason.
But this movie,
Weird.
it had an opening song that was trash. That was the original song, and I'm like, how you gonna have a Disney movie with the original song that's trash? A, but B, the song that they sang, what was it? I gotta get you, One Way or Another by Blondie.
Yeah.
Like 1979. I'm like, A, how do they even know that song? But how do they know I put a spell on you either? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean that's
like
that's the least of this movie's problems.
yeah, see, it was like, okay, that song was like, it was heading in the right direction. It was a good sounding song, but like that whole scene just felt like so boring, and it was like such a retread of what they did before. It was like, you guys could have done better.
I mean, a lot of the movie was just a retread.
So
Just like a lesser telling.
I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna give the
4 out of
movie
10.
a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6.
A 6?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Fair.
Kuma? Kuma?
I didn't watch it.
He hasn't seen the movie.
I didn't
It makes
see
it
it.
really
It's
hard to
supposed to
review it.
I
Kuma?
didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Based on our description, what are you gonna?
Kuma,
I
if you-
cannot.
if you-
I have no say in this. I have
right.
not watched this, so it's not going to be a good judgment.
Oh, and the Roomba bit was fucking stupid, and I hate you, Disney.
Oh my god. All right. So, yo,
Product placement.
guys.
Wow. I really hated this movie.
We
We didn't hate it. It just should
I
have been
didn't
better.
hate it. It just doesn't need to exist.
Let's
That sounds like you hated it.
let's move on to fighting game
There wasn't
news
much to
here.
hate.
So we actually have quite a bit of fighting game news, about 4 things to cover here. So, guys, Rev2, GGxrd, and Rev2 are getting rollback netcode.
Hey, finally,
pretty
the
neat.
prophecy has been fulfilled.
Yes,
It's dubs for the Guilty Gear heads.
members of
They can
rollback,
be like,
yeah,
oh,
rejoice.
Strive sucks. Strive sucks. I just want to go back to XRD. Now you can go back to XRD.
They're not going
If
to.
you want the older Guilty Gear, you can go play XL Core. You know, now you have your pick. XL Core, whatever.
They'd rather bitch. They're gonna keep bitching from the sidelines, but now, like, they got no excuse.
They got no
XRD
excuse.
Yeah,
You have
XRD is now.
old Guilty Gear, you have like modern-ish Guilty Gear, and now you have current Guilty Gear.
Yep.
All play completely different too. So that's a lot of
Yeah, they all
choice.
play differently. Yeah.
If you do not choose, that is a choice.
True.
Rollback.
Do
Yeah.
or do not. There is no try. But yeah, no, this
Rollback
is
it,
pretty
baby.
cool. This is cool
It's
news.
fantastic.
Rollback it
Old
once
games
again.
being retrofitted with rollback is like the dream.
It is.
Like, let's get some fucking Soul Calibur 6 some rollback while we're at it. Like, let's go.
SC2
have-
rollback, SC3 rollback, SC4 rollback. All the SCs get rollback.
We have that. We have. I'm gonna go ahead and move over here. To are you going from each fighting game to fighting game, Quintessence?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, all right. So let's see. We got Rev2. We have Tekken 7 getting a new patch, which is it's Tekken 7's shockingly still being supported after the new 5.0 patch. So finds out there, they realize, oh hey, we this game still has some problems, and we can still fix some things with it, which is fantastic. I'm shocked personally that Tekken 7 is still getting its comeuppance and you know, still being worked on now with Tekken 8.
They just
on
casually dropped it on Twitter. They're just like, oh, hey, you guys, by the way, new update, you know, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, like, from a business sense, that's low-key smart, because what you got probably a year and a half till Tekken 8. So, like, if you keep drip feeding people with new patches, that at least keeps the playing community kind of invested. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about 5.0 is it felt like kind of like a half patch.
Yes.
Because there wasn't like a whole lot going on with like regards to balance. And like some of the more egregious characters just like got away scot-free. Like Fang didn't get nerfed. Akuma didn't get nerfed. Paul didn't get nerfed. Marduk didn't get nerfed. Zafina didn't get nerfed. So like
Leo.
they know that those characters exist. Leo's like top 15 maybe.
Leo.
So they know those characters like exist, right?
Leo's S tier.
And so I think that they're actually gonna get like some slaps in this latest update. Especially Akuma. Akuma just needs to be gutted. Fuck that character.
I mean, you'd
It's not
rather him
Tekken.
not be in the game, so I'm just enjoying him still.
They
being
wrote him into
badass.
lore though. That's the big problem
Yeah,
there.
bro.
Wasn't a problem.
He's one with the Tekken lore.
Street Fighter and Tekken are the same universe. Stop asking
Yeah.
questions.
People don't like that. I think that's pretty
I don't
cool.
like that either. Yeah, that's.
I like
don't know,
it.
I think it's
That
kind
was
of
cool. I thought it was cool.
I think that's kind of weird, but
It was
whatever.
kind of like they were saying sorry about Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So they
Yeah.
put Street
Done with
Fighter
that.
into Tekken 7. And we got a glimpse of what Tekken Cross Street Fighter would have been like if
Right.
they would have did it.
Yeah,
Why
I
can't-
mean, and it's. I wish they still committed to it. I
Oh, yeah.
still want that really bad. But anyway, what do you say, August? What's up?
I would rather them just commit to saying that, like, Akuma punched a hole so hard, he punched a hole between universes, and he walked into the Tekken universe, and then he just left. Like, it just feels so weird. Like, so much dumb shit goes on in the Street Fighter universe. Like, how would that even make sense being a part of the Tekken universe? Like, are they two separate tournaments?
I mean, there's a lot of dumb shit in Street Fighter as well that don't make sense, but it works. So I'm just like, you don't have to think too
Look,
deep
bro.
into it.
Look, a dude fell into a like in Brazil, fell into like a lake full of electric eels and turned green. Okay,
Yeah.
And now he's got orange
That's
hair.
a perfect example.
And he throws electricity and does Blanca balls and stuff. And
I mean, have you ever?
And now he has living dolls.
Might I add
living dolls?
Might I add about that, because the sad part is the Street Fighter 1994 movie made a better explanation to Blanca than that storyline would suck.
I agree.
Mama.
But then we also got the Blanca from that,
which AKA is Nash.
We don't talk about that.
He's Nash though, right? That's Nash's origin story.
I know.
So I mean, I'm excited for that. Also, real quick, like,
seems great. I'm hopeful.
I think overall,
Save
the more fantastic news for fighting games. DNF Duel has just got a patch, and I'm wondering, guys, do you think that this is too little, too late for a dead game?
Is DNF Duel dying?
Yes,
way too late.
It's definitely way too late. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The thing is like I don't
Swift Masters dominated this game for too long.
So like
he's just rolling over the whole fucking game.
It's one of those things where like I don't think they really understood how much casuals hate games that turn into TODs. Because like when a casual shows up, takes like one hit and then literally dies, like they're never gonna want to play that game again. They're just done. Like the Marvel effect kind of fixes it because at least you get a couple more characters. But the fact that DNF Duel is essentially like one player Marvel with like touch of deaths. Like I actually just saw someone has a grappler touch of death loop from round start that's still in the game. It's like, bruh, like I understand this game is like Kasuge, but like you gotta balance that shit out. Otherwise, people are never gonna want to play.
Well, I think what killed it is literally the lack of balance patches.
Agreed.
This is only like the second patch.
Yeah, and it's been how long
since the game came out?
Like 5 months, 6 months?
Honestly, it's kind of crazy how fast this game is dying.
Yeah, because when I even played the demo, it felt something was lacking of a soul with the game a little bit. It just felt very gimmicky. A lot of the, what we had back in the Marvel vs. Capcom days with a lot of juggling and stuff like that, but there was no real substance to it.
Yeah,
well, it's by like the same people as Marvel 3, so
aiding.
That's probably why you got some of that similar vibes.
And the thing
it just felt
like,
bland to me. I just didn't care about the. I mean, the old game DNF Online was fine, but then this one came out, and I was just like, I get it, but I don't really care.
Yeah,
but that's like an action MMO, right? So
yeah, but it was fun for what it was. I was actually excited I was going to make a fighter out of it because, like, okay, that's an interesting jump, not too bad.
I was too. Yeah,
but
I think they went too crazy. I think that was the issue. Is they went too crazy. They gave characters too like powerful of tools. Like when you have one character that could just lock you down for 8 seconds. You're just like, all right, cool. I didn't know I was playing a tag fighter.
Yeah.
No, like so that's kind of my biggest problem with this game is that it's like it needed some like design. It needed a redesign from like the base philosophy of what the game was from the ground up. Like if you want, like, fine, if you're gonna make if you're gonna just go crazy, if you're gonna make a game where you decide to give everyone crazy offensive powers, that means you also need to give everyone crazy defensive powers to balance it out. Otherwise, this game just turns into like Oppressive City, and no one enjoys fighting games like that. No, like you can lie to me and tell you someone does, but like literally no one does, because eventually it will be you getting oppressed, and everyone hates that. You know what I mean? Eventually, the tables will turn, and it'll be you getting your ass handed to you, and no one likes that. That's why you need to give, like, games like this need to have good universal defensive options, and I think they were like, nah, don't worry about it, and that don't worry about it attitude killed the game. Like, imagine if this had, like, a KI system where there were, like, combo breakers, or mid-combo breakers, or, like, even, like, the MK11 system
like a
where you can break out of
burst.
systems.
Just a fucking burst would have helped.
Something.
Well, would y'all thought that would have been better as a free-to-play game?
No, I think this game would have failed regardless.
It would have done better, but it still would have died for the same reason.
It needs patches. It needed to have multiple patches quickly to like
nip
things in the bud and keep the player base, from not just abandoning ship. Like, I don't feel like dealing with Striker anymore. I quit.
Yeah. It needed patches. It needed better defensive options. Free to play probably would have helped it, but I mean, again, that doesn't change the just oppressive, unfun nature of the battle philosophy right now. And like something about that needs to change. People need more defensive options.
Also,
like,
the balance is
give them a
non-existent.
couple bursts. Oh yeah, no, the character balance is all over the place too.
Just non-existent.
Like,
you had your god
unviable.
characters, and then you just had unviable.
Yeah, no. You had a middle tier, but you had some characters that were legit unviable. Launcher, legit unviable.
Launcher's still unviable.
Yeah, there's some characters that legit like, how did anyone ever expect this character to be useful? And that's just not fun.
So with that, we also had the Capcom Fighting Collection. It's actually getting patches here, and really, I think my point with bringing up this game is the fact that, hey, look, Capcom gives a shit about these old games, and they want to give you the best product possible. And it means that they're learning from their mistakes once again. Also a great thing to point out for Capcom because, hey, let's face it, us as fans have felt neglected for a long time. Just as like a few kind of things here, like they're like a Super Puzzle Fighter Turbo. They're adding new gems. They're adding like a new difficulty table to hyper fighting. In the game's EX section. Things like that, bug fixes and casual ranked matches.
I heard they're cleaning up the matchmaking too, because the matchmaking was kind of a huge mess.
Yep, they're let's see, you can now gauge launch opponent's latency by color. Oh, so now they're giving you like ping colors and stuff like that. Training mode, a hitbox display, just stuff like that. Character levels are added to Red Earth. So basically, they're saying, hey, look, we care about what you guys want. We care about you guys and giving you guys the best quality of life for these old games, because we know if we don't do that, you're gonna go to Fightcade 2, and people aren't gonna buy this stuff, and I'm here for it. And which brings me to my next point, and I think this is with all these games, with Guilty Gear XR getting rolled back, with DNF Duel getting patched, with Tekken 7 still getting patched, and Capcom Fighting Collection. Are we in the golden age of fighting games? Are we in a golden age?
I would say
I think we are.
Yeah, we're starting to be a golden age of online fighting games. Definitely.
Just online?
The devs have kind of finally pulled their heads out of their asses and like, oh, hey, people won't play our game unless we have XXX. Okay, cool. So
one of those
I guess we have to include
one of those X's is functioning netcode. So yes, functioning lobbies is starting to be another.
I mean, I think going forward, the golden standard is literally going to be crossplay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Rollback netcode. That's just it. It's crossplay and rollback netcode.
One can dream, and a good lobby system, and also like letting me be in training mode while I'm waiting for games.
Yeah, I mean that's been out there for a minute. I mean, many games had that already, what I recall.
Not all of them though.
But, yeah, not all, but yeah. I mean, honestly, like I tell people from the get-go, don't get too serious about ranked online. But right now, they are actually fixing that problem. But there's still going to be issues with online matches. But I still tell this day that don't take online fighting game too seriously, because somebody's going to always have a bad connection. Somebody's going to do something janky to mess up that connection. Just don't worry about it. If you can get into an in-person set, then go there and do that if you can.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
some people's only option is online, though. Like me, I live in a small town. I don't have any of like this option.
Get that, but
you don't have no local.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I get that. It's just like this also caters to you. It's like, real talk, you ain't got much options. You don't need to take it seriously, though.
Yeah.
I would say find that group of people that you can play with online, that you know that don't do any weird things with their online connection, and you have a good group with that.
That's why I'm a little disappointed post-COVID that as an FGC we didn't kind of push more to make it like a more of a hybrid model. Like, it would have been cool if like we had in-person weeklies and one online monthly. You know what I mean? Because some people are just never going to be able to get out to the local weeklies. So give them like a one time a month online where they can shine. And let people around the country view that. Like, I'm so sad. I mean, granted,
Don't you bring it up?
He had to do it. Spooky had to do it. He couldn't.
No.
He couldn't do it all on his own. I 100% appreciate that man. Hardest working man in fighting games. But at the same time, it was like I loved the online NLBCs. I loved the online WNFs. I liked the online ICFCs. Like, give me I don't need those every week. Like, I understand it's a lot of work to do every week. But if you could give me that just once a month, man, I would have been happy. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about your online games through Google Stadia?
Yeah.
Nice segue.
I mean,
I would like to chime in on this one.
Yes.
Because I did my article on this already.
We're moving to that next. So I think let's check the notes.
Well, I think it was Google Stadia, but like I think one thing before we move on to the Google Stadia that I wanted to mention was about fighting games is that I think honestly the fact that they're also acknowledging with the retro games that hey, look, people actually want to play these.
Yes.
And like giving us the modern fighting collection. The modern fighting game, modern fighting game like treatment with these older fighting games, like giving them a training mode. And like all that stuff, so like you can actually go in and learn stuff. I love that. I want more of that. Just to kind of put a little cherry on top.
Give me training modes of games that didn't have training modes, and I will be happy.
That's what they're doing.
No, that's what I'm saying. I like it.
But speaking of training modes, how about that Google Stadia? Like it never quite made out a training mode there.
Bruh. Oh my god.
I feel like my segue was a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah, no, his segue was a little
segue bias.
I mean, real talk. Okay, so I had a whole bunch of friends that got onto the Google Stadia bandwagon, and I was just like,
wow.
I was like, wait a minute. Y'all don't realize this is Google trying to do something new. And they kill almost everything they try new.
You're right.
So my buddy just spent the whole $129, and then I was like,
no.
All right, whatever. I didn't even buy the thing.
Hey, you tried to tell him.
The thing is that it was offered to me, so I had it for free with the web browser. I didn't buy the tech or anything like that. And then they said the subscription fee, and then I still had to buy the game, so I was like, nah, I'll just get the free games and try it out that way. The web browser was okay. You couldn't play it anywhere as they advertised because unless you had some type of high-end mobile device, you was not playing it on anything. It really reject almost any other phone. And that was a big problem. And now we almost, 3 years going on with Google Stadia. They ain't getting nothing exclusive. So it was already dead in the water. When somebody was talking about it recently, I was like, it's still alive? It's still around? Because nobody really talks about it anymore. And then they finally admitted and just dropped the white flag and was like, we surrender. And I was like, Jesus, just let it go. Thank you, Google. I mean, I wanted them to fight and try to find a way to get some exclusive. If they would have talked to the indie devs or somebody to get some exclusive games on it, it would have been great. But
I think they had like 4 or 5 games, but they were nothing anything big.
Nothing was exclusive on that system, man. It was just.
Well, no, there was
Speaking of the devs, the devs weren't notified of the thing shutting down.
Yes,
nope. I saw the Hitman developers was just like, look, we're going to try to find a way for y'all to play this game. I was like, nobody else got no other system to play this on? Like, real talk. I was like, for those that really relied on Google Stadia as their main system, I was like, damn, I can donate a system to you if you want. Jesus Christ.
They are being refunded, though.
Oh, that's the good news.
That is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Google Stadia are being refunded.
But is it going to be a full refund for those that did the subscription, paid for the $129 and the games? That's what I'm curious about because
I don't know. I just read about games being refunded, so that's probably about as far as it goes.
Which is the coolest thing I've ever seen any developer do, because I'm sure there's some contract stipulating they didn't have to. So the fact that they are giving refunds is definitely them trying to not murder all their goodwill, which is a pretty impressive thing.
It was just last year they was giving away the Google Stadia devices with the controller for free to anybody that wanted one. They was really trying really hard to get people to play the Google Stadia. But even I was just like, I just gave mine away to somebody else. It's like I'm not gonna use it.
So I just googled Google Stadia exclusives. There are 5 games.
Yeah.
There's a horror game called Guilt, a game called Outcasters, 2 other games, and then there was Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle, which was some I think 16v16 Pac-Man thing, which was actually one of the one cool things about Stadia because you could do massive things like that.
They had a Bomberman on there. I think that wasn't exclusive though.
But yeah, no, like it's crazy because like literally not 3 months ago,
they needed a
like,
big name exclusive.
They need a bunch of stuff.
Missed. They had the names, they had the games. The whole system was just flawed, though.
I don't.
It was.
So it wasn't. It wasn't. It was. There were some people it worked okay for, and there's other.
Yeah, well, you need to
services
get
out
in
there.
that. You had to have like super high end internet.
Yeah.
You had to pay the subscription. You had to have all the tech. Like there was just too many hoops to jump through to get like a playable experience. Not necessarily a good experience, a playable one.
So
like even on my gigabyte internet, I tried playing the Google Stadia and it barely played. Like I still had like 2 seconds ish of delay. So
for example,
moving the controller. Okay, and then it moves like, oh, okay. This feels like on live.
During the early stages of Google Stadia, there was like big name streamers like Jacksepticeye and no. They had issues trying to stream with Google Stadia where it wasn't working. It was just that was already a bad sign from the get-go.
Like as I said, this is a pattern of behavior by Google where they come up with a relatively good idea and either the execution is terrible. They're in the market too early, or they just don't know how to capitalize on the idea that they have. And it's so frustrating to watch because it's like some of the stuff they come up with and kill was actually kind of cool. Google Cardboard, actually kind of cool. Just I'm just gonna use my smartphone as a VR, and just have a little thing on my face and use like 360 video. Actually, kind of fucking cool. But it's like they don't find a way to like. If Google has like the same problem that Netflix does, where like if they can't see an immediate like giant financial return, they axe it. And I'm like, yo, a lot of these products just need time to cook, my guy. You know what I mean? Like
Google gives products time to cook.
And now
it's just they can never solve for X.
They can't close.
Yes, they're very bad closing, but like it's I think it's some of it also needs to be like. Bruh, they need to realize when, like, the project, if they're not willing to invest the money themselves into the project, I'm like, guys, just open source it and let people do what they need to do. And eventually invest in the people that do it well. I mean, there are ways for Google to manage these projects in a hands-off way, which I don't think they necessarily do well. But, like, for Stadia, I mean, the thing was just like, okay, so internet latency in America isn't high enough for, like, live action games. Cool. Okay, so we should find the best turn-based game developers that exist and try to make the best turn-based game on the Stadia. Like find the next like Darkest Dungeon people and like put it on the Stadia. Like try to find ways to
like a project that was just doomed from the start. I don't think there was a way for them to really salvage it. They tried for years to like keep it afloat. Like they were just pouring money into it and pouring resources into it still.
I think
they should have actually gave up sooner.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's like
our technology isn't there.
The technology isn't there. That is eventually you're gonna have to come to the conclusion that like if their original scope of their project being able to play every modern game through streaming, technology isn't there yet. So few people have internet with that low latency. Technology isn't there yet. But like, build for what you have. You know what I mean? Like, if they could have made a lot of really good, like, low latency style game exclusives on the Stadia, I would say do that. And then, like, while you're waiting on that, maybe franchise them out to other, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Stadia was definitely a flawed project. The weird subscription, or whether or not it was going to be like Steam where you bought something, like they never really sounded like they had the monetization model figured out, which is dumb. Like you need to know that in advance before you go into a project like that. Like it was really funny when like you had all that big news about all these like big video game execs being hired right when they announced the Stadia project. And like little by little, year after year, you saw them all leave. And you're just like, oh, things are not going well over there, are they?
I mean, it was written on the wall from the start.
Everybody knew.
It's so sad to watch because it's not a bad idea. I mean, there are other streaming services that people
those
like.
are not really doing that great either.
Is it really that sad to watch when they were literally gouging the shit out of people?
No, it's not sad at all because it's like
sad to watch. It's sad to watch because I want to see the technology succeed. That's why.
The
technology will succeed. It'll just succeed later.
You got GeForce Now, who's
Yeah, you got GeForce
nobody's
Now.
really talking about that. Shadow was trying to do the same thing.
Shadow PC
And
and
then
GeForce Now are the ones.
You got Google Stadia, who came late into the game, but then now the other companies like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo started doing their own streaming service. Game Pass is doing well.
Yep.
Freaking PlayStation doing it. Like you got Remote Play, and then
Nintendo
of course
has
Nintendo
cloud
streaming.
gaming.
Yeah, so it's like once they
gaming.
started getting into it, everybody was like, "Why bother?"
Yeah.
Especially with GeForce Now, promise you can play all your Steam games, but that's a lie. You can't even play it on them, and all you're doing is taking over another computer from their base. But yet it tells you that no, this game cannot be played on GeForce Now for whatever reason. So I stopped using that service because that was stupid. But yeah, I see it was a good way for people that couldn't afford a high-end computer to use these type of services.
Yeah. But the technology still isn't there. Yeah. No, technology still isn't
there. It's there. Game Pass is pretty much the technology. It's working.
Yeah. You know, Game Pass is a completely different thing, though.
No, it's not.
No. There's
you playing off of a game. You playing off of a web browser with Game Pass. You got that option with the cloud gaming. It's not this. It's pretty much the same thing as Stadia.
Yeah.
But it actually works. And plus, you also can play the games that you already own. So that's like even the old Xbox and Xbox 360 games you can play on the cloud.
Yeah, but how do people like the latency on it? I haven't researched it much.
That all goes under your connection. Because I have the Fios gigabyte connection and everything like that, and I don't have no latency problem. And I stream many of the games already, so it's there. But it's all how much your connection is good with that. But that's neither here nor there. But either way, Google flopped and they gave up too soon. They should have just kept on trying.
I think they tried too long.
I don't know. They would have got shit on more though. Honestly, like there was no win for Google after a certain point. I think they should have slowly phased out the project by maybe again trying to like open source it, doing something with it. I don't know, but yeah, it was kind of written on the wall. But it was still really sad to see. Like I think 3 months ago, they literally put out a message that said like we are just as committed, and then nowadays, like 3 months later, they're like, okay, sorry guys, we weren't as committed as.
Google is in a bad place right
yes,
now.
again.
But yeah,
pranked.
It's so bad. So like
John.
To anyone who is ever curious about seeing all of the projects Google killed, and this is a very long page, check out killedbygoogle.com and you can look at all 274 projects they've killed.
Which we won't be going over.
Instead, Stadia just added
which we won't.
list.
Or listing.
We will not go over.
They can look it up themselves.
In fact, I think we have to move on.
So with that,
it's just disappointing. I'm disappointed because you would think that a big company would be able to manage something like that, but I think the latest years have proven even big companies can do some dumbass shit. And or just they are fallible. They can make mistakes.
All the years have proved that.
All right. Of course, I mean Sony's going through their thing, but it's neither here nor there.
Guys, did you have a chance to look at the IGN's top 25 animes of all time?
Oh Lord, IGN.
I did. I got some words.
You got some words.
I got some freaking words.
So there's a lot here. There's a lot here.
Yeah, there's 25 of them.
I don't know if... I mean, I agree with where some of these... I agree that some of these should be on here, but I don't agree where a lot of these are number-wise. I think that's my sort of...
Agreed.
Before you go into any of this...
Is Corey in the House at the top of the list?
Everybody has
the house is
own,
the top.
I would say... Everybody has their own list. If that's what they feel, that's their list is in. I just say whatever.
This list was made by a shonen fanboy.
This list is made by a shonen fanboy, and it's made as in like, hey, this is again IGN's top 25 list of all time.
And that's why I just be like, you know what? I'll let y'all handle that because I'm looking at the list right now and I'm just like
Naruto above JoJo.
I mean, I would say Naruto's definitely more
Naruto above Made in Abyss. Made in Abyss is one of the best fucking animes I've ever seen.
More influential.
Again, it's mostly their list. It's not your list.
But that's why we're here to tear it to pieces.
I don't. I'm just like, oh.
I mean,
Y'all go
like,
for it.
look, I do agree with you.
This is our
the top 25 list of all time is subjective. And guess
It
what?
is,
Guess
very.
what, Akuma? You're more than able.
Akuma.
You want me to say Akuma?
No, you said Akuma. I'm like, just Kuma. Just Kuma.
It's Kuma.
I didn't say.
Kuma.
I said
It's like
Kuma.
bear.
I
No,
said
you said
Kuma.
Akuma. No, you said Akuma.
I said
It's
Kuma.
He just ran his shit together and sounded like Kuma.
You see, that's stop doing this.
Y'all
Don't worry about it.
Y'all sound like Dragon Ball fans that I have that correct me every time I say a
I'm not
special
correcting you. I'm
move
on your
wrong.
side. I'm on your side.
Anyway. Yo, you're Kuma. You're more than welcome to have an opinion about anything. That's perfectly fine, man.
No. I'm just like, it's just a list.
Anyway, all right. So, what did you think of this list, August? What did you think of the list?
I do like some of the ones on it. Dude, like, honestly, if you're going to talk to an American anime fan, I can see why a lot of these shows are on this list, because these are the shows that popped off in America. Like, I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I agree it's the best of all time? Not really, but I mean, like, everyone's going to have an opinion on different animes they think are better, different animes they think impacted them more, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I mean, again, this is why I hate these lists, because it's so subjective, because it's like, this is just one dude's opinion, and like, why I might admit, I might agree with some of it, I'm probably not going to agree with all of it. And that's 100%.
That's what we're doing here, though.
Yeah, I know.
We're giving our feedback.
Let's tear this shit apart.
What are are we the hot take show? Like that? I don't know.
We are right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so one thing
what do we do?
kind of agree on? Do we agree that?
Do we just list off the list? Well, that was an okay list anyway. So moving on.
It's just a list. It's a list. I don't agree with it.
Anyway,
but it is what it is. Their placing of FMA Brotherhood as number one. Mm-hmm. I feel like everyone is. That's a choice everyone can be pretty comfortable with. No, like that is the one thing that I feel like is the least controversial about this.
I think subjectively, I think it's one in the running. Fine. I think that's definitely top 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would say top 5.
It's top 10, definitely. Yeah.
I would say top 5 even. FMA Brotherhood is a pretty non-controversial choice for.
Brotherhood did a great job redoing the storyline from the first one.
It's a fantastic anime. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Brotherhood cut some filler that was in the manga, and then just kind of like put things together in a really good little package.
Yep,
it's a fantastic show.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone, I'm pretty sure, pretty much agrees Brotherhood is.
Yeah, for that second try at the Fullmetal Alchemist, that was a better choice because they followed the manga.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
it's good.
The number 2 could also be the number 1.
That's true. I like Cowboy Bebop.
I think it depends on your take on anime.
I'm not a Cowboy Bebop fan. So.
Yeah, exactly. There's some people that aren't huge Cowboy Bebop fans.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was like,
One Piece, number 3. All right, fine. That's all right. Okay. I mean, look, I'm not a big One Piece guy. I'd
put it in like top 10. I'm not a huge One Piece fan, but I do respect like how much work and how much effort like Oda puts into his world. In his world, everything is constantly moving.
In his world,
crazy. I have no idea how he keeps track of everything. Oda's
either way, it's all about quality versus quantity, and that show's been on for a little bit too long.
No, One Piece has quality too. You can't.
I have no opinion because it's too long for me to want to start.
I can't.
I know, but hey.
It's too long for me to even want to start.
Anyway, Monster is number 4.
Have anyone here seen Monster? I haven't.
I've seen Monster.
I have.
Monster's a fucking classic.
I've seen a good chunk of Monster, and I will say I've wanted to always finish it, but it's I've watched more about Monster than I have actually watching Monster. I'm that guy. I do think it has an interesting plot, and I do know what happens at the end. Do I think I mean, it doesn't sound as good as everyone says, but then again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Yeah. I would say it does sound like it's pretty ballin' though.
It makes me miss
Monster's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like Monster,
moral.
you go through a lot with the main character.
Mhm.
Like they create a real like connection between you and the main character that actually makes the show kind of difficult to watch at times.
There's a lot
it
of
does
morality.
It does make me miss
Yeah.
the 90s aesthetic for like everything hand drawn. Like I mean, we'll probably never get that again, and it disappoints me because I miss stuff anime looking like that.
Number 5, Hajime no Ippo.
I agree with that.
Greatest sports anime ever made.
I
Wait a
anyone.
minute. Wait a minute.
Ooh,
Wait a minute.
What's up? What's up? What you got?
Greatest sports.
What do you have, Kuma?
What
I'm
other
gonna
sports
say-
anime do you like? Just give us that. Like Prince of Tennis. Where we going with this?
There was a basketball anime that was pretty good.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Haikyuu?
Yeah, no. Wait, is
No.
it Haikyuu?
Oh no, Haikyuu's
No, Haikyuu's the
Haikyuu's
volleyball.
volleyball.
Yeah, Haikyuu's volleyball.
What is this?
Kuroko no Basket.
But
Yeah,
Hajime no Ippo, yeah, I give it that. You know what? I'll let you have it.
I think it's
Thank
easily
you.
top. I think it's easily top 10. I think it's the greatest. For me, it's the greatest sports anime of all time.
It has such a good like underdog story. You just can't help
Slam
but
Dunk. Was
root
it
for
Slam
Dunk?
Megalobox
Megalobox.
Everyone
every
liked
turn.
Megalobox.
Oh, well, okay. That's a boxing
Megalobox.
anime. Megalobox is
And Hajime
Joe.
no Ippo is a boxing anime too.
Look. Listen, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to say that that Megalobox is like a pseudo sequel to what is it like?
Shito no Joe.
Yeah, Shito no Joe, which is why the ending says not dead yet, because at the end Joe dies. And,
Whoa! Spoilers for
hey, a
manga
30-year-old
from like
anime.
the 70s.
Anyway, yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, it's like it's cool because it's based off a classic anime, and yeah, I would agree that Megalobox is great. I haven't seen season 2 yet. I hope
Season
wow.
2 is better than season 1.
Holy hell, I gotta watch season 2. Is there season 3?
No, just season 2.
Is the
It's
show
definitely the end of the story.
it's the end of the story for sure. Like if they ended
It's
it
the end
on
of
the
the story.
first season, I would be like, okay, it's a great anime. But I gotta watch
Yeah,
they're saying, oh, there's more to tell. We got more to tell.
There is. Yeah.
Okay, so definitely Mob Psycho.
So, Are there any like as someone who doesn't watch sports anime?
Yeah.
Are there any like wrestling animes out there?
Oh
And
hell
not, like,
yeah!
not sports wrestling, not the real stuff. I'm talking about the fucking like.
Ultimate Muscle?
No.
That's not sports. That's
No, I want like a kind of like WWE,
Kinku
like
Man.
New World Japan style like wrestling anime, like
Um,
about like
don't-
the sport of like entertainment wrestling.
there's Tiger Mask.
I mean, there's some, but they're not really like super.
Tiger Mask.
we're not really out there like that.
disappoints me, man.
Tiger Mask is good.
Yeah, it is.
Tiger
But I
Mask
think
is
that was-
probably the closest to what you're looking for, but there's more to Tiger Mask than just the wrestling aspect. So
Yeah. I mean, that's where King was based off of. The
Yeah,
Japanese wrestler.
yeah, did you hear that they had an actual real pro wrestler come in and do all of his moves for him? He's a guy named oh my god, I used to know his name and now it of course I bring it up and I can't remember, but he's it's funny because the pro wrestler actually Harada asked him to choke him out.
Oh shit!
So like Harada got choked out by this pro wrestler just because he wanted to see what it was like.
Wow.
And yeah,
badass.
but the guy
I
he's
feel
actually
like Harada would have a choking kick.
The only thing I would say that I'm mad about
I
this
don't think
list is
that's the choking king.
I don't see initial
But
D on this list.
my statement still remains. I feel like Harada would have a choking kick.
Initial D should have been added on this list somewhere.
Top 25? Oh.
Boy,
No,
don't start.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a couple on this list that I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
Like, there's some honorable mentions.
The second half of Initial D is just kind of, you know, a noticeable drop in quality from the
Minoru
first
Suzuki
half.
is his name.
At
Minoru Suzuki.
the end, we'll do our honorable mentions because I feel like this list is not representative of some of
Mob
the shows we feel
Psycho.
like.
is the
Anyway,
next one?
yeah, Mob Psycho
100.
I've
Mob
never
Psycho
seen
is
it.
pretty fucking
I like Mob
fun.
Psycho.
I've
never
actually
seen
never
it.
seen Mob Psycho.
Neither have I.
I know
This is
that's like
about to start.
blasphemy in the anime circles
I
right
don't know
now,
about
but I haven't.
There's a
seen it.
reason it's getting a third season.
Yeah, season 3 is about to start soon.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a reason it's getting a third season.
And
It's actually pretty good. They even did a live action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter Hunter. Hunter Hunter number
Hunter.
7.
I'm convinced that Hunter Hunter is the best shonen. I can't think of any
What?
shonen that even comes close to Hunter Hunter.
It seems pretty mid to me. I'm
Better
not gonna
than
lie.
Bleach?
There are shows I
better
enjoy
than
more
Bleach.
than Hunter Hunter.
What?
I don't know.
I'm
Hunter's
gonna-
good.
Oh my
There
God.
are shows I enjoy more than Hunter Hunter.
So the problem
My
with
Hero
Bleach,
Academia? Come
listen.
man.
Graphicus dope.
My Hero Academia
Bleach
kinda
is good, right? But Bleach started
whoa.
super strong, right? And then Bleach hit like this middle like
The
growth
Spada.
difficulty time, you know, like the Espadas, the Arancars, all that shit, and it kind of like meanders along, you know, doesn't really seem to find its footing until the end again.
Look, Kuma's
But-
over there, like,
then the
not
end,
having
they
an
had to,
opinion,
like,
and now he's got a fucking
rush it,
opinion,
you know?
like nobody's business. Like, look
Fucking
at
opinion because
look-
goddamn,
look
fucking
at
I played Hunter.
Look at the
I like
bullshit.
Bleach.
Look,
I
see-
like Bleach. I just don't think it's the best.
Kuma. Sorry, why did I say Kuma?
But there's
I'm
a
sorry.
difference.
Damn.
It's a difference between somebody having a list I don't care about, but then it's like, well, we're now in a debate situation.
Oh shit.
We're in a debate situation.
No.
We have
Yeah,
zero
yeah,
time to
yeah.
debate now. I'm sorry.
I'm
We
not
don't
trying to.
have
No,
time
trust
to
me. I've been
debate.
quiet through this whole podcast. I'll let y'all speak. I'm not going to
Hunter
debate on
Hunter-
anything. I was just
Hunter
going to say
Hunter
that.
is
All right,
a
I'll tell you what.
masterpiece.
I'll tell you what.
I'm making
I
a
will let you
podcast
guys-
a little bit interesting.
I'll let you
with my
guys-
clip.
I'm
just clipping in just a little bit.
Interesting. Sorry, go on.
I'm just talking about
Savage.
bringing my chiming in just a little.
Go
I'm
on.
not gonna-
Go ahead.
Let him
Go
make
ahead.
his point.
Go
Let him
ahead,
make
He
his
Kuma.
point.
said content. You wanted content? I chimed in.
Let him
a
make his
little
point. Let him make his point.
Kuma, floor is yours.
bit. No. He said he wanted content, so I just chimed in a little bit to give
All
him
right,
some content.
August, what do you have to say then? Since you're trying to talk over Kuma.
See, no, I just want him to make his point. Like,
No,
I've already said, Hunter x Hunter, I think is a enjoyable shonen that I don't like more than other shonens. That's my opinion on it. It's enjoyable. There are other shonens I like better, but I've realized that I like them better, and that's a me opinion, not an everybody opinion. So that's
Yeah,
why
those
I'm
I feel like
talking
the
about
Chimera Ant arc just brought Hunter x Hunter into a different level of like shonen writing.
Mm.
I mean, my favorite shonen of all time, and actually, that's not even true. My favorite Americanized shonen of all time is Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been butchered to shit by the American version, but it's enjoyable as fuck. Because I was 12 when I watched it. So that's the best
Oh
thing
man,
in the
that's a
world.
rough one, dude.
Yeesh. I don't know about that one, brother.
See, if I could go back to the time when I was 12,
I mean,
then
dude,
yes,
Dice
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is
Masters,
the best show of all
ugh.
time.
Ugh.
All
Dungeon
right.
Maybe,
Dice
maybe
Monsters.
Digimon Seasons 1 and
Oh.
2.
So number
Neon
8.
Genesis.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
X-Men the animated series. Greatest shonen of all time.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
If
If you like mecha, if you like surrealism, you have to see Neon Genesis.
I'm gonna
It
be
has a
real with
deep-
you.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Neon Evangelion is overrated.
I agree. I have
I
to
think
agree
it's
with that.
really overrated,
I have to agree.
and
fair.
I don't like it. I think it kind of sucks. Say right.
It's a lot of mommy
Yeah.
daddy issues going on in that anime, and I'm just like,
Well,
it's
the
drawn out
mech,
too
you
much.
know, is literally his mom.
I understand
so-
that, and I'm just like, oh god, make this kid's life even more worse and pathetic. He gets beat up, abused by the Russian girl. He has a weird relationship with the other girl that's kind of like cool, but she's mute half the time, don't want to talk, and very isolated to herself. And this is like, they all want them to work together, but
Yo, chill
Hey,
on
bro.
those burps, man.
Hey, bro, as long as you don't leave them alone with girls in hospital rooms, you're good. That's all I know.
oh, he already got
Damn.
one that's in
Damn,
his
dude,
that
he
he's
went
living
there.
with that's trying to get into that. So it's like,
Anyway, let's go back. People like Evangelion.
So anyway,
No matter
number
what,
9 is Yu
Yeah,
Yu
let's skip
Hakusho.
Hakusho.
skip it. Everyone likes Yu Yu Hakusho.
which is also
Alright.
getting a live action.
It's getting a
Uh,
live action.
let's put it
Yu
You
Yu
this
skip
way.
past
Hakusho
one.
is a good show. I don't see it in like the top 25, much less at number 9.
Well, I'm sorry. What'd you just say to me?
Whatever. Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho's too damn
Ooh.
good for that opinion.
I'm
What?
actually
Look, first of all, if
Yu Yu
you guys,
Hakusho is mid to me.
The ending of Yu Yu Hakusho just sucks. It just sucks.
Look,
I don't know what else to
Like,
say.
I'd
The
rather
ending
have
just
Tenchu
sucks.
argue with
Muyo
that.
on that list.
I can't
I'd rather have
argue.
Tenchu Muyo on
I
that
know you
list.
can't argue with that.
I can't argue
No, are we
that
talking
the
about the manga
ending
ending or the
is
anime ending?
that
Anyway, oh.
the I can't argue that Yu Yu Hakusho's ending is bad, but it is one of the best shonen animes of all time.
The
And if you
Dark
don't think
Tournament
so,
was amazing.
you're
I'll give you
wrong.
that. The Dark Tournament, amazing. After Dark Tournament, we're having some issues.
No, the Sensui, okay, the Sensui arc is okay. And
yeah, it's okay, right?
No,
but then
it has
we just
it has good
progressively get worse.
No,
Like,
it only
Sensui,
gets worse
Dark Tournament,
after
great.
Sensui.
We can all agree it is.
It only gets worse after Sensui. That's it.
You mean
like
the
one of
end?
the shows of all time.
Yeah, the
but
last arc is bad. Anyway.
I like it. Anyway, FLCL, everybody knows Fully Cooley. No one likes any of the reboot shit.
This is my most overrated anime, Fully Cooley. All right, I think this anime is all over the fucking place. I don't really understand the huge draw to Fully Cooley, and I don't think I ever will.
Okay.
It tells like a good story, but it has a weird narrative.
Yep.
And I don't know, it just threw everything at the wall and tried to see what would stick. It's a balls to the wall anime that just.
I really enjoy it.
It tries to do a billion different things at once.
I don't know if there is a. I don't know if like a Fully.
Well, trying to talk about puberty.
I mean, that's what the show is in a nutshell, though. Like,
I mean, yeah, it was an overly drawn.
He has this hot older sister figure or older whatever figure that like he wants to be into him, and she flirts with him, but isn't really, and that's kind of the whole point. Like, the show is just a coming of age show.
She just uses him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's the point. That's the point.
We just
he comes to realize that at the end.
Yeah, that's.
You're right. You're right. It is the point. All right. Anyway,
that is. I agree, August.
So, are there any of these animes here that you think, like, if you were gonna make your own? I guess just kind of wrap this up.
What would you take off this list?
If you were gonna make your own top 10 out of this list, because we can't make a top 25, what would you construct? I want to know.
Out of this list?
Yeah, out of this list. Because
currently, I'd put Maiden Abyss at number 1.
Okay.
And then I would put Cowboy Bebop at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would put Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, followed by probably Hunter x Hunter, and then Code Geass.
Mm-hmm.
What else is on this list? I don't know, man. It's kind of hard.
Okay, I'm gonna choose Violence because I think that question is uninteresting. And my interesting question was, what would you throw off this list? Like, what do you think just doesn't?
I'm just gonna leave mine at a top 5 actually.
They also got a personal list on here. Yeah.
What do you think doesn't deserve to be on this list? What do you think is
what doesn't deserve to be on this list?
On this
Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh, spicy.
Nah, Death Note. I feel like Death Note doesn't deserve to be on this list.
I think Death Note's overrated.
I hated Death Note.
Naruto doesn't deserve to be on this list.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think doesn't deserve to be on this list?
I also don't think Death Note deserves to be on this list because of the second half.
Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, I don't think that deserves to be on here either. I don't think My Hero deserves to be on here.
Hey!
Whoa, I don't know about that. I think that's a spicy take. Go on.
Maybe it's because I'm just not a girl, but I would throw Ouran High School off this list because I didn't care about it.
Damn.
It's a really good rom-com.
How about
if you like rom-coms? If you like rom-coms, then Ouran High School Host Club is like top tier.
I would throw it off this list, but I would replace it with Season 1 of Melancholy.
Honestly, real talk, if I was going to make a personal list out of this list, I would definitely put Trigun at number 1. Because that's nostalgia for me. I remember when that first came out. Space Dandy definitely would be number 2 for me.
Okay. That is an opinion.
Hey, that's not on the list.
They have a personal list. They have a personal list.
His personal list.
They have a personal list on there.
Uh-huh.
Because they also got Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on that personal list too. So I was like, huh. Anyway, Samurai Champloo would be number 3.
Champloo is amazing. Easily top 5. Top 5 or top 6 for me.
Mob would definitely be number 4. My Hero number 5. Hajime no Ippo number 6. Damn.
I love how Mob is on there, but not One Punch Man S1.
Yo, that's true.
Where is One Punch Man?
Season 2 happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Hell, season 1 was so good though.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but season 2 happened.
I would definitely put Edge Runners on here.
Jesus.
I see it in the
I
personal
finished
list.
Edge Runners.
I guess
Edge Runners was really good. What am I putting? Demon Slayer definitely. That'll be my number 7.
Mm-hmm.
They also got their honorable mentions list. Jutsu Kaisen. Yeah. Nah, fuck that. Sailor Moon number 8. I'm gonna go there. Sailor Moon number 8. I've been a fan since I was a fucking kid. Sailor Moon number 8.
I respect the man who's willing to say he likes
and Killer Kill number 10. That's my list.
What is this, middle school? Like, you're ashamed to say you like Sailor Moon?
Hey, bro.
Everybody here likes Sailor Moon.
Some dudes are
not everybody, trust me. It'd be like, look, I'm from New York. You know how it is.
Yeah, no, I know how it is, bro. I'm not even from New York.
You hear you say you like Sailor Moon, like
some dudes.
Yeah,
exactly. Some dudes still aren't like.
Sailor Jupiter is hot as hell. That was my waifu from the kids.
All the Sailor Moons, all the fucking Sailor
Jupiter. All right, hold on.
Jupiter is my bae.
Hold on.
That wasn't Mars at all.
All of the Sailor Senshi.
You hush up about Mars. Mars is mid, okay?
All of them are bangable.
That's right. I said it, and I meant it.
Kuma,
you bastard.
Look, Kuma, I'm gonna have to agree with you on Jupiter. I'm just saying.
Fine, we'll go with Chibi Moon.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What are you, a pedophile? Hold on.
That's sus.
Get out of here with that.
That's sus.
You're fired.
Quintessence is like, this is a fictional version of Japan. We don't even know the age of
She's still a kid.
Sir, she's 300 years old.
I
don't care. Anyway,
the Moon Princess.
So, okay. So, go.
From the future.
Kuma.
Yo.
Kuma,
I can't with this. Give me a second.
Where can people find you, Kuma?
You find my socials, Beastgame Akuma, anywhere from my website, same name, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, BeastGameAkuma.com. Go for it. You can find me anywhere.
Remember, that's Beast Gamer Akuma.
No.
I'm just kidding.
There's no Raging Demon, or unless you want to see me do a Raging Demon.
No, I'm good.
Not the Raging Demon into that ass.
Whoa, wait, what?
What?
This is not that kind of podcast.
On that note, I think I'm going to leave because it's getting weird.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Quintessence, where can people find you, man?
Streaming video games over at twitch.tv/QuintessenceHD, on this podcast, of course, and just hang around in the Discord.
All right. August, where can people find you, man?
Same old Backlog Podcast, diving in the news minds on Reddit, and generally just on the Discord at random times.
All right, guys. Well, you find the Backlog on Twitter, Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. I think we're on pretty much, and you can find the Backlog Podcast anywhere you can find podcasts. And with that,
can't stop laughing.
This has been the Backlog Podcast number 34. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, y'all. Bye-bye.
Later.
Laters.